Welcome to Judica County. I'm your host, Taylor SCRUGGS-SMITH, and I'm here with Cassandra Nicholas, and we are both attorneys with Whitaker & Hamer, your law firm for life, with offices across the state of North Carolina. Today, we want to touch on a particular topic with Cassandra Nicholas, as this is one of her main practice areas. So we get a lot of calls from clients and coming in who are maybe not using real estate agents for the purchase or the sale of their home, and they're looking to start the process with our office. So what does that look like to even start closing when you don't have agents involved?
So typically, if there aren't agents involved, it's usually the buyer that's reaching out to us, and we will draft an offer to purchase and contract for the buyer, basically to memorialize their offer to purchase the house or property from the seller. So we just get some basic information from the buyer's legal name, the seller's legal name, the price details, including any due diligence or earnest money, and then there's a lot of legal language, just all the disclaimers that come with an offer to purchase.
And so when you talk about due diligence and earnest money, we're getting that information from the buyer about that time frame for that?
Yes, yep. So that needs to be provided to us, and if there's not an agent involved, then the buyer and seller need to determine what those numbers are for themselves.
So when we're drafting, do we represent the buyer in those negotiations if there's a term they haven't agreed upon, or do we kind of just wait for all the terms to be reached?
Typically, so when an agent is involved, they act on the buyer and the seller's behalf to negotiate those terms, whereas that's not necessarily our role at the outset. We are just kind of drafting the document.
And so once the document's drafted, and what's the next step for the buyer and the seller?
So buyer and seller need to come together and both sign the document. Once we receive the fully executed contract back from whoever is sending it to us, then we can get started on our typical process of title search and everything leading up to the actual closing.
Well, thank you for your time today. These are all great things to know, especially in this housing market. We thank you for joining us on this episode of Judica County. And you find yourself in need of legal assistance with potentially an offer to purchase or any area of law, give us a call at 919-772-7000 or contact us via our website at WH.LAWYER. Again, we are Whitaker & Hamer, your law firm for life.